Hi, welcome to Vinyl Friends how-to video on applying your vinyl decal to your wall. The same process that I'm showing you here can be used when applying any of our decals to a window or a car graphic or many of the other surfaces. These decals are very versatile in what they will work with, but there are some surfaces like plastics that it won't work as well. Before we get started, I'm going to show you some of the tools that you need, and I'll go through also just some tips and tricks on how to apply your vinyl decal. So let's get into the tools. So the tools that you want before applying your decal is a squeegee or credit card, and this is just to help put the decal onto the surface. It helps to reduce bubbles. A towel or cleaner, you want to make sure your cleaner has something that can get off grease as well as dirt, and it's not going to destroy your surface. This is very, very important. You clean your surface properly. And then you want to have an envelope opener or some scissors, and that's just, so the method here I'm doing is the hinge method, which is what you'll need that for. And then you just need to have some masking tape to tape down your graphic. Once you've determined where you're going to be placing it, tape it down so that it doesn't move, and then you can get started. So here I'm just explaining the proper way to clean the surface. I do want to point out here that you do need to remember that you have to allow your paint at least 48 hours to dry before applying your decal. And in this case, where this is an actual wall paint, you do need to let it dry 2 to 4 weeks for it. If it's only going to be temporary, go for it. But if it hasn't dried that 2 to 4 weeks to let all the whatever's in it gas out properly, the decal will fail prematurely and it may come off and actually fall off the wall. I've had maybe a few people comment about that, and that would be the reason why. So anyways, once you've cleaned your surface and you've got your tools ready, what we're going to do is, you'll see here, I'm going to actually go over the decal and make sure it's been properly stuck. And this primarily is just to make sure that it comes off the liner properly. And here you can see the squeegee I have in my hand. It's that white thing. I do sell these in our shop. You can get them, I think, for $3, I believe. They're a very, very handy tool to have. You can use them on other surfaces or other projects. But I'm just going over the decal. Every decal is different, and so you might have some fine lettering like this down here, which is why I did it. That's usually where you might have an issue of stuff coming up. So you just want to make sure and go over that really, really well before you actually get ready to pull it up from the liner. So once you've done that, you're going to go ahead and hopefully you figured out where you're going to put it on the wall, and you're going to tape it to the wall with some masking tape. And the method I'm using here is the hinge method, which you'll see I'll put it across the middle because we'll do the left side and then the right side. And this is where you're going to need your envelope cutter or some scissors to cut that backing paper off. You can also just tape it to the left or right side and just do it all at once. But this method's easier if you have a larger graphic, or if you're inexperienced, it's just an easier method to do. And so here I'm just explaining the right way you want to pull it from the liner. You do not want to pull it across like I'm doing right here. Do not pull like that. You might have issues with it not coming up. You want to pull like this, how I'm pulling up. Yeah, just like that, pulling up and away. That'll help ensure that the decal comes up as easy as possible. And you're going to pull it up to the edge of that tape, and you're going to use your envelope cutter here to just go and trim the backing paper off, or the liner. You do want to try and make sure it's as straight as possible. It's not crucial, but you just want to make sure it's as straight as you can get it to be. And that's where you come in now and grab your squeegee. I do want to point out, you don't want to go straight. You don't want to go left to right. In this case, you want to go in the direction that the tape was and go up and down on this one. You do want to keep your squeegee at a 45-degree angle to push the bubbles up and out and away from it. If this is your first time doing a vinyl decal, you'll probably always get bubbles. You don't want to do right here where, see, I'm doing this, it's almost straight. You do not want to do that. That's where you'll get bubbles created. You want to create a 45-degree angle in the direction that you're going, so it's pushing out and away. And then you just do the same thing to the other side. And just remember to pull that backing paper off, or the liner off, pulling up and across. You don't want to go 180 degree angle across the surface. And this is the same thing. Using a 45-degree angle, I did forget to point out, you want to overlap your strokes by 50%. And that's just to make sure that it's been properly applied. You don't need to hold the graphic. In my right hand here, I'm holding the part that's going down. You don't need to hold it. You don't want to pull and tug on it. You just want to let it droop and let your squeegee push it down and apply that. So once you've done that, I just like to go over the graphic one more time and make sure everything's been properly applied. the adhesive is called pressure sensitive, meaning it's not going to stick until you press on it. And so you just want to make sure that it's been applied, especially in the areas where you've got small lettering like this, or a small graphic, if that's what you may have. If I didn't mention earlier, every graphic's different. So some graphics might give you grief, and that's okay, and you're going to get bubbles, and that's okay. Like I said earlier, if this is your first time doing it, you're going to get bubbles. Just be happy you got it down. So once you've got it down, if you're doing it in a cold environment, it's good to let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. It's not recommended you apply it in a low temperature. The adhesive doesn't activate. But anyways, I'm just explaining here, this is how you want to pull off the backing. This is going across the surface, or a 180-degree angle, and this just makes sure that the vinyl decal sticks to the wall and won't come up with the liner. It just makes it difficult for it to pull. It's just going across like this, and you just make sure you go across the surface. Do not pull it up like you would maybe pulling off a piece of tape. You need to go across it like this. Be careful not to bite off too much. You can get to pulling, it can take some force, to get this decal up. If you do have, like right here, I think I had part of the eye kind of come off the surface. You can use a pen and kind of, maybe if you can, pluck it back down, or if you have to, pull the liner or the mask up and just kind of go over with your squeegee and push it back down, and then try pulling it across again. You might have to do that, and that's normal. Okay, that's about it. Once you're done, you should be good. I do go over the decal one more time, maybe just in little spots here and there. As I pulled it across, I took the time to kind of note if anything kind of came up or moved from the surface. You want to go back over it with your squeegee. And then that's it. Thank you for watching this video. My name's Matt, and this is Vinyl Friends, how to apply your vinyl decal to your wall. This does apply, just remember, on any other surface that you have. Our decals work on most every other surface. So anyways, thank you. Take care. Thanks for watching.